done and gone by now. Not running her business into the ground.
If I were to tell you why I did what I did, and I was broke and alone, would you pity me? Or would you say that my actions were justified?
I see you stitching there, darling. Needles dance, you're so charming.
Welcome. I'm here with Calum Worthy, who's here promoting his new film, So Torn. So Calum, the one thing that, I really enjoyed about the film was that, it builds tension kind of almost through like a cleverly layered structure and where every choice kind of sets off like an elaborate, almost mechanic sequence of like unexpected events. So I'm curious, when you first read the script, what was your like hell yes moment that you knew you wanted to be a part of this?
I actually knew I wanted to be part of it even before the hell yes of reading the script, which I also had a hell yes after I read the script. But I was a fan of Freddie's even before this. I was sent his short film. That was the short film version of So Torn from my agent. I watched it, fell in love with the cinematic style that he brought to the project, and I felt like it was so mature, and it was both nostalgic and new wave, which is very interesting, and it felt like it was very, in some ways, American in terms of a Coen Brothers style, but also very European. And I thought, I gotta meet this guy. So thankfully, my agent was able to arrange a meeting. We met and we decided to make a short film together called Shedding Angels, that Kate Callan was also in. And after we wrapped that, Freddie and I were talking about just wanting to work with each other. And he said, I'm thinking about writing a feature version of So Torn. He wrote it, and I was wanting to make the feature version after I saw the short. So I was pre-signed on even before Freddie met me.
No, I love that. I mean, you've played characters in everything from mockumentary, I believe American Vandal to the true crime, The Act. What was different, or maybe that you found, let's say, even uncomfortable about stepping into So Turn's world?
The thing that was difficult was the stakes. There's so much stakes for Joshua throughout the movie, and also making sure that we uh, stuck to and maintained the incredible tone that he set for the short film. I felt like there was a standard that we had to meet because the short film was met with so much acclaim and people really loved it. I wanted to make sure that we did it justice. So the most difficult thing for me was just making sure that I didn't screw up his vision and make people think, why did you make it a feature because you casted this idiot when we could have just kept it short. So I wanted to make sure that we lived up to the potential. And luckily, I didn't even have to worry about that because Freddie did such a good job and the other cast were so good in it that even if I had messed it up, it would have been still a great film.
I mean, I was gonna say you definitely did not mess it up. So
Oh, well, we'll see.
I mean, I think it's so interesting because this film explores how, let's say, a single decision can really branch into, different paths of life. Was there ever
Yeah,
a moment, would you say, in your own life, whether it be like personally or professionally, where you made a choice that kind of felt like a multiverse moment?
absolutely. I mean, I think the doing Austin and Alley which is a show that I did for a long time on Disney Channel. That was definitely a big moment because it brought me down from Canada to the United States, and I mostly worked in the Canadian and British market, and it was really my entry point into the US film and TV market, and it was a big decision because I also wasn't sure if I would go continue on with university in Canada, whether or not I'd stay in the industry, would I not? And by making the decision to do Austin Alley and for them choosing me to be a part of it, that was a pivotal moment that really shifted things for the rest of my life.
No, I love that. And like, yeah, look at you now,
Yeah.
I love that, going from Canadian to being where you are now. So congrats on, all your success.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
yeah, no, of course. I mean, you've also done incredible advocacy work with Al Gore and the whole One campaign. How do you balance projects like So Torn with your passion for like activism? And do you see any crossover between storytelling and social change?
That's a great question. I do. I
Mhm.
see a lot of crossover because I think the best social change happens when there's a clear narrative and there's a clear story to be told. These big issues like climate change, gender equity, international investment, international aid, these are big concepts. and it can feel overwhelming. And so I think it's really important for storytellers to enter the advocacy space because they know how to take a big idea and big theme and contextualize it for audiences to really understand in an entertaining way. Because I also know that most people, when they are scrolling through social media, they're not really looking necessarily to be educated on something. They're likely doing amazing work on their own in their own job, and they might be going on social media just to get distracted from being, in the medical field or the education field and helping people. And so in order to get people to really sit down and watch a video about something that's heavy and deep and requires a lot of time and energy of people, it needs to be entertaining as well. And I think if you can mask a big issue in some kind of entertaining way, that's when magic can really take place and real change can take place.
I think it's really awesome, what you do. I do like also see on your social media always promoting, and I think that's really awesome because I mean, it would be nice to see a lot more people, actors, for example, doing it. So just want to applaud you and say thank you for that.
Oh, I mean, I'm grateful for the groups that I work with. I feel like
Mhm,
the real change makers are the ones that are doing it full time at these
mhm,
organizations. I feel
mhm,
like I'm just kind of like holding a microphone up for them to really um, tell their own story in many
mhm.
ways. Because there are so many incredible people whose stories are not always told, and it's not just about doing the right thing, it's also the smart thing as well. And making sure that we balance it, where it's a lot of this is not just it's just charity. It's a lot of it's empowering people who are already doing the amazing work to just have the resources and tools to do even more amazing work. And so I really believe in using your platform for social change and addressing big global issues too. And I think if there's any actors or influencers or singers or any of the following out there, if you team up with great organizations, you'll be guided in the right way. You don't need to do it yourself. I think it's best to work with people who are already doing the work rather than you trying to take it all on yourself.
Exactly. Well, that's like you said, exactly. Someone who's already kind of an expert, already been doing it.
Yeah.
Um, the film you shot it in Switzerland, which is basically like a postcard. So when you were running lines, were you secretly looking for the perfect cheese or chocolate combo at all?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that was the thing. So our crafty, so like craft services is like where all the food is out for people to snack on. I was so worried about how much I was eating during the production because we luckily had an amazing team who was in charge of craft services who curated a great group of food, and a lot of projects have that. What was different is that our food was curated from Switzerland, which has the best cheese and chocolate in the world. And so I was eating a lot, and I was eating, I was almost eating too much. I was being a little selfish. It was incredible. If anyone has not been to Switzerland, you need to go. It's such a great country.
I honestly, I can't imagine. I'm like, you guys must have all ate so well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely indulged.
I love that. So one last question before we go. So we're all about going the extra mile here. So how do you go the extra mile, whether that be in your personal life, professional life?
That's a great question. Going the extra mile, I think it's an important thing.
Mhm.
It's funny, when you said that, I actually thought about the physical version of that, which is a Canadian reference, but with Terry Fox, how he
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
went the extra mile,
Of
and was
course.
like the living embodiment of that idea.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think it's important. I don't know if it's going the extra mile or if it's just doing what you should do. I think if you have the ability to have a platform, it's important to use it for good and to really be careful about how you use it. Because I think a lot of people now, everyone almost has a platform. Everyone has a social media account. So therefore, I think everyone is an influencer. I don't think you need 1 million followers to be an influencer. I think someone with
Mhm.
100 followers is also an influencer. And I think it is important to think about how are you influencing the world and who are you influencing, and making sure that you are strategic and careful about the information you give, because the people that we actually rely on for a lot of our information comes from our family and friends as well, as the people that we look up to or follow. So I think it's just important to make sure that you're curating that information in a smart way and making sure that everything's accurate and you're doing the right thing. So I think I go the extra mile when I just make sure that anything I share on social media is accurate verified, and something I can really stand behind.
Listen, Kim, thank you so much for your time. I'm excited for everyone to see the film.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your press day.